I must. By the way, my name is Hilali, for those of you who don't know me. But I have to and I must thank the one and only Dr. Abdurrahman Shabib. I want you to all stand up, please, and give him a big round of applause. With his team, I don't know if any members of his teams are here. Rebecca, and everybody else. Well, they know who they are. And the reason I told you, guys, please, the reason I told you to applaud him and his team, here she is, Rebecca, you can applaud her too. She's here. Applaud her. Look at her, young lady, working really hard to bring this big event to Marrakech. And let me tell you guys, the reason we have to thank them, we got Victoria as well. I'm sorry I don't know all the names. I don't know all the names, and please forgive me if I did not mention your name, because I'm very bad with names. But you know something, guys? I don't know if you realize this, because most of you are young, right? Hello. But what Shabib and his team are bringing to Marrakech, this event, I wish I had the luck of having something like this that's going to open up my eyes when I was your age, when I was 16 and 17 years old. This is an amazing event that's going to look really good on your resumes in the future. You may not realize it right now, but it's definitely something really positive. So once again, give them a big hand of applause, please. And please, don't stop bringing us this event every single year. Right, guys? Do we want it here in Marrakech? Yeah. And you know, we guys from Marrakech are very lucky because it's here. You have a lot of students coming from all parts of the world, right? Do we have people? Where are you guys from? I couldn't hear you. Poland. Wow, give me a hand. And see, they took a plane and they came here, guys, to acquire some knowledge, to get something positive. I have a student who told me a couple of days ago, and I was so happy. She said, Mr. Hilali, this event, because she was present at last year's event, and she told me, Mr. Hilali, this event has changed my whole life. Can you believe that? Is that positive? Yeah. That is positive. So, without any further ado, this workshop is about empowering you to take leadership roles in the world. We want to empower you to take leadership roles in the world, in your countries. But the only way it's going to happen, guys, students, the only way it's going to happen is if you listen. If you listen, like we say, stay green and grow. You need to listen. Because what I'm about to tell you, trust me, I wasn't taught this at school. This is 40 years of adversity. I've been through 40 years of adversity with my beautiful wife, Mrs. Hilali. Can you give her a hand? And the reason I say this, because she was responsible for some of my success. And when I say success, I don't mean to say it in a way to make me look good, but because, you know, success is a journey, it never ends, right? But Mrs. Hilali was smart enough to tell me, Farouk, that's my name, when we were living in New York City back in 1990 and 80 and everything, and she said, listen, I want to go back to Marrakech, I want to go back to Morocco, so we can do some positive things over there. So I want to thank you, sweetheart, for all the years you did not marry me because I had money, I was broke, right? So there was a lot of positive things. Anyway, listen to me, please, guys. I want to begin by telling you an anecdote, something that happened to me. It happened to me about a week ago. We were in transit, my wife and myself, we were in transit in Paris, and we went to visit some schools in Mexico, right? So listen to this story, this anecdote. And we ended up staying in Paris, transiting from Paris for 5 hours. It's a long time, right? It's a very long time. So we're sitting there, obviously, and you're watching, and you don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden, and I took the liberty of taking this photo here. I took this photo. You know what that is, guys?
Yeah.
Don't smoking.
That is, because you know, smoking has become, today, in today's world, when I was your age, I'm going to be honest with you, I smoked. I tested. There's nothing wrong with testing with things, you know? You can test stuff. There's nobody here that's going to tell you, well, I didn't test this or test that, try this or try that, right? But what's important is to realize the good from the bad, right? So I had nothing against these people. I just felt bad for them. Because they have this little room, and I took a photo here, right here, see it? And they're all going, running to get inside because they just got off a plane, and they go, and they're all smoking, and inhaling somebody else's cigarette. And I'm sitting there because I have 5 hours, right? And I'm an educator, so I have time to analyze. Because I used to be like that too, you know? But these people are kind of, they have my age. You know, some people are 50, 60, you know, different ages. And they're sitting there smoking. And all of a sudden, a gentleman that was actually with me in the plane, the first plane, was sitting right in front of me. I think he was an American, I think. He was in his 50s, late 50s, right? Can you all hear me, by the way? You can hear me, right? So he was in his late 50s, and I couldn't take it. I wish I took his photo to show it to you guys. Because I brought this photo, I said, because I have this, I know I had this seminar, so I wanted to show you. There was a little corner here on the left-hand side of this room that was empty. And there was nobody there. There was no place, you know? And this guy comes, and because he's right in front of me, so I couldn't avoid it. So he takes off he had a jacket or something, right? He takes it off, and he started exercising, you know? He's doing push-ups. He did, and I counted it, because I have time, right? 45 push-ups. 45, how many of us can do 45 push-ups? I swear to God, 45 push-ups. And he was doing squats. Do some squats and you see how this is going to feel, right? He was doing squats and push-ups, and he was there for like maybe 45 minutes. Then he put his jacket back on, and then he left. And I couldn't help myself but think, look, we have a bunch of people doing destructive stuff, right? It's destructive. Smoking, I mean, you know, we know that smoking kills, right? And you have this man here that comes right next to them, and he is doing something positive. So the question to ask yourselves, that we need to ask ourselves, all of us, right? What's the difference? What triggered this? Why do we have people doing such things and other people doing other things, right? Mindset, thank you, very good. You know, that's nice. But mindset, how do you get that mindset? That's the question. How do you get that mindset? So it's, you know what? It's that self-talk. You know, we have that little voice, all of us. You have to have that. You have that little voice, right? That always talks to you, tells you things. You know, you have self-thoughts that are usually that's different, right? But self-talk is when you start talking to the man in the mirror, to that person. All of you wake up with that, and that's very important. So ask yourself, how is that self-talk? How is it? Is it positive or is it negative? Because you know something? You are maybe too young to understand this, but it takes practice. You need to practice. Don't think it's given to these beautiful professors, but it's not given to you. It's given to everybody. You just need to practice it. You need to fight yourself. You always need to give yourself, and the younger you start doing that, the better you're going to become in life. Trust me. So what you need to do is make that self-talk, because it's a conscious self-talk that you need to make positive. So the bottom line, if you say you can do it, that means, of course you can do it. And if you say you cannot do it, that means you cannot do it. So whatever you say, you have questions, if you don't mind leaving them until the end, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions, all right? Because we don't want to open up that worm of cat, and then, but I'll answer your question. If you say you cannot do it, you cannot do it, right? So whatever you say, you are right. You say you can? Yes, you can. You say you can't? You can't. So make sure that self-talk is always positive. Can we do that? Is it possible? Of course it is. Because we are the ones who are thinking. Nobody makes us think. If you decide, guys, like these people here, to go and lock yourself in a room and do negative stuff, that's exactly what's going to happen. But if you decide to put yourself in a positive situation and exercise, or what have you, go outside for a nice walk and breathe that beautiful air, you know? Because we take things for granted. But life, you know, the fact that we wake up in the morning, guys, listen to this. You wake up in the morning and you're healthy. That's a very positive thing. A lot of people today in wars and stuff, they cannot do that. They're running away, you understand? So don't take things for granted, please. That's very important. Now, the question that comes to mind, it is what's the one character trait to building actors of change? Because our goal, all of us here, the older people, is to make sure that the youth, you guys, whether you're from Morocco or Poland, you make this world a better place, right? Because if you guys make the world a better place, we all win. It's a win-win situation. So what is the one thing, the one character trait that building actors of change? You said mindset? That's right, it's a mindset. We can call it attitude. It's your attitude. If you have the right attitude, guys, you can achieve anything you want to achieve in your life. Trust me. Dr. Shabib was an immigrant, and he went to Italy with nothing. And look at him today, because he has the right attitude, right? So make sure you have the right attitude. I lived 20 years, 20 years in New York City. I couldn't even dream of going to the United Nations until he took me there. Until he took me there. Give him a hand, that's amazing. So you have to have the right attitude. If you have the right attitude, guys, trust me, you're going to be successful. You're going to succeed in life. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And this is the million-dollar question. What is the opposite of success? Write it down, please. Each and every one of you. What? Don't tell me. Write it down. What is the opposite of success? Write it down, please. Take a second and write it down. Tell me, what is the opposite of success? Write it down. Can somebody tell me now? The opposite of success is not learning. Because learning goes giving up. Giving up? Failure. Okay, failure. Let's have a show of hands. Let us have a show of hands. How many of you said failure? How many? Almost the whole class. Almost the whole room. Almost, right? Wrong. It is not failure, guys. So the sooner you learn this, the better for you. The opposite of success is not failure. Failure, ladies and gentlemen, we skipped something here. We have something that we skipped, but it's okay. There is a slide that's missing, but it's okay. Failure is part of success. Failure is part of the process. It's part of the process. Remember this, you are too young. But I remember the very first time when I moved to New York, I was 18 years old and I failed. I couldn't see, I was so miserable. I felt the biggest emptiness around me and I felt like I was a big failure. So if you understand that failure is part of success, then things become easy for you. So what you need to do, guys, is fasten your psychological seatbelts. Do you understand me? You need to fasten. Life is not easy, life is tough. So you need to face it. You need to fasten your psychological seatbelts so you can deal with failures. And when you look at failure as a part of success, then it's okay. It is okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something, guys. I'm going to let you in on a secret. The more times you fail, the more times you're going to succeed. It's proportional. It's a proportion. So, next time, your friends, your acquaintances, your parents tell you you are a failure, tell them, what do you tell them? Thank you so much. That means I'm doing something right. Do you understand? Listen, I'm telling this because it's 4 decades of adversity. I've been through so many failures. I didn't take it right the first time. That's why I tell you guys you're lucky. You're lucky because nobody told us this. We had to go through life and understand a lot of these things, okay? So, number one, don't look for instant gratification. There is no such thing as instant gratification. There's no such thing as instant gratification. The people that I looked up to in New York, in America, my good friends that were actually very successful, told me, Farouk, and I was really shocked because I said, man, is that going to take that much time? They told me it's going to take you at least 10, 15, 20 years. 10 years to see a big difference in your life. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, you guys are going to school. You're going to get your high school diploma. You're going to get your degree. And after the degree, you're going to have to go and try jobs here and there. So that takes time. That's why I tell you, you better fasten your psychological seatbelt. It's going to take time. But do it one day at a time. One day at a time. Why? Because today is guaranteed. You're here, right? Yesterday is a canceled check. Tomorrow is a promissory note. Tomorrow, there's no guarantee that we have tomorrow. So just concentrate on today. And it's going to take you time. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm just going to write down your question. I want you to repeat it. Okay, no problem. What do you want me to repeat? The whole thing? So today is a guarantee. Today is, you're living today, right? So concentrate about today. What, can you imagine? You wake up every day and you say, I'm going to give it the best I can. Because tomorrow is only a promissory note. There's no guarantees I'm going to live tomorrow. But today I'm going to do my best. Can you imagine the kind of impact you can have on your own life, personal life, everything, right? So concentrate on today, because today today you're living today. Yesterday is a canceled check, it's gone. So don't feel bad about yesterday. If you failed yesterday, you have to get it out of your head. Block it, forget it. Tomorrow is a promissory note, so concentrate about today, right? So don't look for instance. You know, I told you guys last time about the Chinese bamboo tree story. It's an amazing story. How many of you know this story? The plant, Chinese bamboo tree. Not too many. Well, let me tell you about it. The tree that teaches you patience and faith. It's called the Chinese bamboo tree. The first tree you water, here's the tree. You water it the very first year. And you're happy. You're happy because you're expecting result. First year. That's the Chinese bamboo tree. You can Google it later. The second year, you started to become pessimistic because it doesn't grow. It stays the same height. Third year, people are laughing at you. All your friends are laughing because you're always holding that tree and it's not moving. They say, he must be crazy. The guy is crazy, right? Third year, same thing, doesn't move. Fourth year, again, same thing. Fifth year, So in the 5th year, sometime in the 5th year, something incredible is going to happen. And this Chinese bamboo tree teaches us all, human beings, a lesson in patience and perseverance. Check it out. It grows 27 meters high. The 5th year, can you believe that? Imagine if you had given up before. Imagine if you stopped watering it, right? Do you understand? Imagine if you stopped watering it. The very first, some people will actually stop the first few months. If you don't see results in the first few months, you stop. But this, if you keep on watering it until the 5th year, it goes 90 feet high. In only 6 weeks. In only 6 weeks. Check this out. We could all learn a lesson from the Chinese bamboo tree, right? So just to recap what I just said to you guys, just a little bit. Life, understand this, please, listen to me. Life is full of opportunities, brilliant disguised as problems and challenges. It's brilliantly disguised, hidden. You don't see it. But if you look at life like this, as problems and challenges, you will get there. You will become a leader, inshallah. I don't know if you know about the iceberg illusion. Yes. You know about it, right? Because most people, all they see is the top of the iceberg, right? And imagine that top is success. Because that's all they see. You know, we take a guy like Messi. How many of you know Messi, right? Or Ronaldo, or those famous players. All you see is that they are successful, they are multi-millionaires, they have made. But you haven't seen, I looked at the story of Ronaldo one day. The guy was starving to death. He used to go to a McDonald's place and the lady would feed him, you know? So you don't see the persistence, you don't see the failures, you don't see the sacrifices, you don't see the disappointments, and there's plenty of them. You don't see the dedication, the hard work, the discipline. That is going to be your life. So you choose. You choose. Do you want to work hard? Do you want to make it happen and set goals and get ahead, right? So let me give you some lifetime advice. And you can write it down if you want. I think it's very important. It took me 40 years to realize this. But, number one lifetime advice, embrace life. Embrace life. What does that mean? What does it mean? You know, not only accept life, that's good. Accept it, that's nice. But you have to be positive. You know, you know, sometimes I see young people, they're so young, 15, 16, they're like this. They're so, I mean, you gotta be positive. You gotta wake up and have a positive attitude. You understand? Embrace life. Take life on. Take it on. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of life. Always expect positive things. Optimistic. Be optimistic, right? Number 2, lifetime advice. You need, guys, please, what you're doing today is very positive, by the way. Today, not all students are doing this. But look at those guys from Poland. They came all the way from Holland. I apologize. I'm sorry, guys. Look at these guys from Holland. Holland, right? Did I get it right this time? All right. So they came all the way down from Holland. And you got guys coming from Casablanca, right? We have people from Casablanca here. There you go. Rabat, other cities. So you guys, what you did is you got out of your comfort zone. A lot of students don't do that. They say, well, what am I going to go there for? What am I going to do there, right? So you need to, that's a very important thing, guys. The only time you are actually growing, ask yourself the question, am I out of my comfort zone? Because that's the only time you will grow. You will not grow sitting in a couch watching TV. You will not grow just, going about your business. When you are learning, when you are doing things, when you come in here, going places, that's when you grow. So what you need to do is get out of the comfort zone. You have that fear zone first that's going to come because people are not used to it. There's a fear zone, there's a learning zone, and there's a growth zone. So guys, remember, get out of your comfort zone. Embrace life, get out of your comfort zone. Number 3, lifetime advice. Listen to this. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity. Meaning what? Do everything that's going to come your way. Don't be so choosy. I'm going to do this, I can't do that. Do everything you can do. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one. And not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared. Back in my young days, they used to give me a microphone to talk. And I started talking in front of the mirror and not have one, then have an opportunity and not be prepared. Back in my young days, they used to give me a microphone to talk. And I started talking in front of the mirror. And then I graduated to talking in front of a few people. And in America, at the end, towards the end, after some years, they started calling me and I would talk in front of a crowd of 500 people. Because they would say, how did this Moroccan, who couldn't even speak English when he came here, make it and do stuff, have his own business and his own building and everything, and we can. So, you have, because I was willing to actually learn public speaking. I went to some of the best public speakers in America, like Anthony Robbins, Les Brown. These are powerful guys. And I would go and pay for my place and sit down and learn from them, okay? So guys, embrace life and whatever comes your way, don't say, no, I'm too good for this. I cannot do this. Why am I going to do this? What is it going to do for me? You don't know what it's going to bring you in the future. Do whatever it takes. It's those guys that do that succeed. Then have an opportunity and not be prepared, okay? We got it? Next, lifetime advice. Oh, that's another thing. Be dumb enough to listen. Listen. You got too many people who just start in life and they're talking. Talk. And they sit with a professor, great professor. And they tell, no, I know this stuff, Probably in the university they do that too. You have to listen because the power is not in talking. The power is in listening. Be dumb enough to listen and smart enough to follow through. Follow through. Why? I don't know if you know the Dalai Lama. What he said is, when you talk, which makes sense, right? You are only repeating what you already know, right? You're already repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. Hallelujah. Okay? So listen please. Try not to do too much talk. You know, the people who just keep talking are people that I think. Number 5, lifetime advice. Oh wow, this is so important. Don't ever listen to the naysayers. I had people laugh at me when I was your age. You know, when I said I want to do this, I want to grow, I want to have my own business, I want to succeed, I want to do it. Some people say, sometimes your own family can tell you actually negative stuff, you know, that you can't do. Maybe you want to, I don't know, you don't want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer. And then your parents say, no, you have to be a doctor, whatever. No, this is what I'm doing. Don't listen to the naysayers, the negative people. There's a lot of them around, right? So choose your friends. Guys, choose your friends. Don't hang out with anybody, because they're wasting your time. Who do you want to hang out with? Somebody who's going to make you better or worse?
Better.
Huh?
Better.
So you choose your friends. Sometimes we are going in the right way, but we meet people in our lives that will bring us down. Be careful with that. You have very toxic people. Choose your friends. Don't be what we call, don't be a snipe. Don't be a snipe. You know what that means? In other words, okay, you decide today, you listen to Hilali, and you got motivated, and you say, man, this man is saying all the right thing. I'm going to go and I'm going to embrace life, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to make it very big. And then you meet some people who are so negative, who didn't do nothing in their lives, and who's going to have an influence, a negative influence on you. Be careful. Don't be susceptible to the negative influence of other people. Don't listen to them. Their reality is not yours. Your reality is better. Okay? How can somebody advise you? How can anybody give you an advice if they didn't make it themselves? Are you going to listen to our professor here? Or are you going to listen to somebody who didn't do nothing in his life? Of course you're going to listen to the professor. Because he knows best, right? So hang out with the right people and don't be susceptible to the negative influence of other people. Number 6, lifetime advice. Believe in the law of attraction. We said it earlier. We said it's so true, guys. It is so true. If you believe in success, in happiness, in prosperity, in health, that's what you're going to get. If you believe in the other side, that's what you're going to get. So the law of attraction works. Believe me, it works. Alright? We said it, surround yourselves. Please guys, surround yourselves with positive people. If you surround yourself with positive people, you're going to even be better. Right? If you surround yourself with negative people, they're going to pull you down. They're going to pull you down. Trust me. Never lifetime. I'm almost done, I think, right? Okay, guys. One more thing. And this is very, very important. Very important. How many of you guys write down your goals? I know it sounds crazy, but how many actually write down their goals? You write it down. How many of you can write a goal that's so important to you and you hang it by the mirror so that you can see it every single day, you know? What we say, and it's so important, trust me, you have to learn to start writing down all the things that you want to accomplish. It's very important. People don't plan to fail. People don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. People don't plan to fail. You don't plan on failing. But because you have not made your plan, you have to start writing down. I can come back with you now, 30, 40 years from before, right, Mrs. Hilali? And I give you my agenda. I always write down my stuff. Whatever I want to do, I write it down. Because what happens, there is a very magical thing that happens. When you can see it with your own eyes, and you remind yourself every single day, this is what I want to do, and you see it. Don't just think about it, you got to see it every day. You got to believe it. Okay? So people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. One last thing, remember that our bodies have limitations, right? We are limited. I mean, you can go out there now and run 200 meters or 300, whatever, and at one point you get tired, right? Our bodies have limitations, guys. If you don't sleep enough, you're tired. But the good news is, our minds do not. The mind doesn't have any limitations. You can think anything you want to think. Who's going to stop you? Who's going to stop you? The mind doesn't have any limitations. So dream big, think big. What is wrong with it? Right? If you don't believe in yourself, guys, let me ask you, please. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? Who will believe in you? Honestly. If you guys, my friends from Holland, if you don't believe in yourself, who will? No one, right? If you guys don't believe in yourself, who will? I may even believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself and you take the action that you need to take to make things happen, nobody will. So believe in yourself. So please stand up. All of you, please. All of you stand up. And I want you, please, to say it from the bottom of your heart. Say it like you mean it. Okay? You promise me? Say it like you mean it. But it has to come from within you. And it's very important. Let's go. Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes, I. Say it. Okay, go ahead. Yes, I. But say it like you mean it. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Trust me. Have a seat, guys. Thank you. I used to stand in front of the mirror. Wallah, wallah, wallah. I used to stand in front of the mirror, and I used the exact same words. Yes, I can. When I was down and out. And you say it when you're going through adversity, you keep saying it until you are 62 years old like myself. So yes, you can. Of course you can. There's nothing wrong with it that you succeed. There's nothing wrong with it. But remember, guys, please, one thing. You only got one life to live. You only got one life to live. Don't waste it, please. Do not waste your life. Trust me. I look at my life with my wife. We've been married now for almost 40 years. It's as if it was yesterday. So, life is short. Don't waste time. Get high on life. You know, I had a friend of mine who used to tell me, Farouk, don't get high on alcohol or cigarettes or drugs. Get high on life. You need to get high on life. So just to recap, I want your attention. This is very important, and I'm done. Okay, so just be patient with me. Just 2 more seconds, please. Okay, just 2 seconds. But I guarantee you, if you apply some of this stuff, you will turn your life around in the future. Okay? So just to recap, turn off that light a bit. Take a thumbs up.
As Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Wherever you are right now listening to this, I want you to burn that into your mind. The most powerful weapon that you're going to have at your disposal isn't a gun, it isn't a sword, it isn't a bomb. the most powerful weapon you will ever have at your disposal if you really want to make change is knowledge. It doesn't mean going to school. It can be school, it can be books, it can be a mentor, it can be somebody else's failure, it can be your own failure. But whatever it is, to always be learning, to be learning something today, knowing that that's an investment. And as Robert Louis Stevenson said, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but rather by the seeds you plant. And that's what knowledge is. That's what the learning process is you're learning something today that you may not even understand how it's going to be valuable. But one day, that piece of knowledge is going to come to your aid. One day, that thing that you learned is going to be something that you're going to lean on. One day, that thing that you've worked your ass off to understand better than anybody else in the world, it's going to help you change the world. But you have to be doing it now. You have to be learning with an obsession. You have to understand that ideas in equal ideas out, and that you have to chase that knowledge down, that it is a relentless pursuit, and that like you would build an armada, like you would create a stockpile of weapons, you must create a stockpile of knowledge. You must learn and learn and learn, and you must hold yourself accountable every day to planting those seeds, to getting better, to learning more, to understanding things more broadly. When you do that, there will be nothing that won't be unlocked to you. That's what I want you guys to understand. It doesn't matter where you are now. It doesn't matter where you started, your circumstances, the money, the people that you know. None of it matters. What matters is how much you're willing to learn. How good are you willing to get? How much knowledge are you willing to